Terror of the Autons has got to be one of the most viscerally entertaining of the Third Doctor serials, or the classic serials in general. It almost is my favourite serial up to this point in the show's history. The Master, the Autons, introduction of Joe Grant, the variety of location filming. I think it's one of the most consistently entertaining of the entire run. The Autons, one almost wishes they were used more, of. I also really like that they were reserved for this particular point of the show's history, so that they don't get spoiled in an 80s serial that was somewhat lesser, say. I think that I really, really love the design the Autons take when they're going to be handing the daffodils out to everyone. They look like it was Frank Sidebottom to me, or some sort of variant of that figure. I know often this is cited as possibly inferior to the initial Autons appearance, Spearhead from Space. It lacks that iconic mannequin scene of them coming out of the store windows. Although what it makes up for is more material to use the nesting consciousness with, not reducing it to a series of bad-looking tentacles. The idea that they're willing to use even a figure as dangerous as the Master and break their deal with him, their agreement with him, in order to move a bit. I think the idea that we created plastic on Earth by happenstance, but it happens to be this material which is developed elsewhere in this universe. The nesting consciousness uses it to expand its grip over all life and to assimilate everything in its path. It's a fun idea. Kind of deliciously contemporary to the context of a 70s, vaguely Balladi instead of the apotheosis of analog technology. And then you get that doll, you get the couch, you get towers. Too much to appreciate in Terror of the Autons, I feel. I think there is a part of me that enjoys bizarre props in this weird post-war consensus era of the UK. There's so much to just shamelessly, maybe slightly shamefully, enjoy about this Doomwatch / Quatermass era of classic Who. It's kind of, the Pertwee era is what we might call the action figure era. There's a lot of toys, gadgets, monsters. It's delectable. And why the Baker era isn't so much. The Baker era is more about going about different worlds and going on these adventures. It's almost like a repeat of the Second Doctor's era, except in colour. What we have with the Pertwee era, though, is a time of spectacle and highly, I'm going to use the word visceral again, family entertainment. The whole family, kind of the mean, 7 to 57 entertainment. And I guess you also have this real emphasis on VFX when the show was at its most consistently budgeted, and because there was more of an emphasis on demonstrating those creatures just for their own sake, rather than the Hinchcliffe Holmes era really focuses on building atmosphere, and creatures are kind of a byproduct of a gothic atmosphere rather than the focal point of the story itself. In that respect, that's what Pertwee era has more in common with the Troughton era. Though I was claiming Troughton and Baker had their major similarities before. And not that the Baker era wasn't light on monsters, although again I think they were potentially conscious of VFX, and so they have the monsters be downstream of an atmosphere, chameleon-like creatures, the Zygons in the rural English setting, or the Victorian Egyptology era mood, which lends the monsters there, the Quatermass mood, which lends to the seeds of doom, or the the atmosphere of Talons of Wen Chang, which lends itself to the appearance of a giant rat. I think it's a very successful run of the program. The 70s really was the highlight of the classic run. I think most people agree with that. We'll close it here for copyright reasons. Thanks, everyone.